I don't know, is it full frame? It's hard to tell what's going on. A little bit flying without a net. As I said, we're beta testing this as it goes. But we've got Trump in town for game 3. And what's nice about this new software is we can see both views. We can see the cops on the phone and the street ahead of me. So this is good for safety. I can see people sneaking up behind me. Let's see, am I able to get a little bigger there? Yeah, look at that. So we've got all kinds of new capabilities. Can keep my eyes on the road. Now, I'm not really an NBA viewer or fan necessarily even, but this is a big deal. We've got Trump coming. I think they said you're not allowed past 30th Street. I think I see the barriers going in right now. So if you don't have tickets, see, who pays for all these cops to be here? Is it the NBA? Is it? I don't even know. They were first saying, oh, there's going to be nobody allowed and no watch party they were talking about. Normally they have a watch party right out here at Madison Square Garden. And then somebody was like, oh, Trump is a jerk, no watch party. Hey, Derek. Sorry about the tiny frame here today. I don't know why that's happening. Well, again, there's settings in here that I'm perhaps not aware of. We'll have to check it out. But we'll learn about this as it goes. So yeah, the other software had a failure where, we're on mobile data here, and you really can't reliably get even 4 or 5 megabits per second. And that thing was spiking to 10 and 12. So that was kicking me off the network all the time. And there was nothing I could do about it. So this new one hopefully has better control of the data rates. More cops on the phone. It's a good thing we have everybody out here on the phone, checking Tinder, whatever he's doing. They'll be here to slam people's heads into poles. But somebody was complaining, oh, Trump, there's going to be no watch party. And now Zoran said, yeah, we're going to have a watch party in Bryant Park. So maybe we can go to Bryant Park and check it out. I mean, I guess this is working a little bit. We've got a small frame on YouTube, which is quite odd. Do we have anything going on X? Looks like maybe no. See if I can just pass through here, see what's going on as they set up. Might have just made it in at the very edge of the cutoff. Wow, I'm surprised how big they make the actual bulletproof vests, but it takes all kinds there. So this is Madison Square Garden. This is where the game is going down. People who can't make it to New York, can see this live stream. And now we've got this great kind of like 360 view. You can see behind me, you can see in front of me. Maybe this creates some added drama. We can see people sneaking up. You there at home watching can see people trying to sneak up and kill me. By the way, it's no joke. There was some crazy attack in Penn Station yesterday. People stabbing, 5 people stabbed, I think, is what happened. Normally you'd have people out here selling shirts and all kinds of stuff like that. Looks like this thing's doing a good job of holding the data rate. So again, this is something of a test. We might have a low res. We might have to zoom that up. I don't know why that's coming in small frame like that. Is that happening on all of the YouTube channels? Give me a thumbs up if you can see this video and hear this video. I realize it's smaller than it's supposed to be. I must have something set incorrectly. But there's probably going to be chaos going on over here in short order. We'll head through here over to Bryant Park where the watch party is happening.
Live streaming, lovely. Nixon 4. Let's go.
So now we can get, input from everybody, 360. Wow, that used to be Sparrow's over there, closed. We got a new capability with this. Look at that. Can zoom right in. So that's kind of exciting. Some new capabilities. That's cool. It's pretty quiet. The cops have it under control. I didn't quite catch that guy running up behind me. It's a hell of a lot of overtime being paid. I recognize a lot of these hairbag society members, as Sal would call them. So this is it. I'm going to be closed off, at least from 7th Avenue. That's all right. So we got to come through here and see the activity before the game. We'll head over to Bryant Park and see what's going on. They're supposed to be checking tickets. They're checking tickets. You got to have a train ticket or a game ticket or some actual business over here, or they're not letting people through, is the idea. Hey, if you're watching right now on the Jason Goodman channel, give me some feedback. Is the sound okay? Is everything all right except for the smaller than usual picture, which is unfortunate, but we'll deal with. Does it look all right? Thumbs up. All right. So that's good. See, I'm glad to be back live, can interact with people, and now no one knows. Maniacs could strike at any moment. I've got maniacs all over me at all times. It's a wonderful thing. Now let's see. Is it? Yeah, it's small. I see how that's working. Weird. I think I might know what the problem is. Anyway, interesting. Yeah, there's lots of settings to explore in this new software. We'll figure it out as we go. I don't know. I guess maybe the Knicks are going to win. I don't really particularly care about basketball. This was as much of a live streaming test of this new software as it is anything else. Also, it's a beautiful day in New York, so it's a good opportunity to be out. It's also nice I don't have to switch back and forth with the lens as I used to. So a couple things we'll get to learn about this software as we go. It is a little small up there in my rear view mirror to see what's going on behind me, but better than nothing, I suppose. I was talking with Charles last night about Bill Pulte coming in as the Director of National Intelligence. I think it's a good thing. Again, when we see these letters from the 28 retired, whatever those guys are, you can rest assured that they all have mortgages that they don't want Bill Pulte looking into, I would think. And so they're not too happy that he's taken the helm as the Director of National Intelligence. They say he has no experience in intelligence. Well, we had that guy, James Clapper, was the Director of National Intelligence, and I don't know what kind of experience he had, but every time I saw him, he seemed like just about one of the stupidest people I've ever seen. So, maybe Bill Pulte, maybe he doesn't have experience, but perhaps he'll pick it up quickly. He seems like a sharp guy. I don't know what James Clapper ever did in that role that was too worthwhile. But it's interesting that Tillis is one of his biggest enemies. Maybe Tom Tillis got word that Bill Pulte was looking around into some of that mortgage information I had found. I also found it very strange. People might remember it was more than a year ago, just about a year ago, or maybe more, like May 2025, I think, that I was looking into Tillis there. And all that stuff came up with the mortgages in North Carolina. And also North Carolina, I guess, native, or certainly, I don't know if she still lives there or lived there at some time. That person, Data Republican, I forgot her real name. But she's another one of these people, comes out of nowhere, uses a fake name. She was like, oh, there's nothing to this Tom Tillis research. That's not true. That's not true at all. All of that stuff was, straight out of public records. The guy was doing all kinds of screwy business with mortgages and things, owning weird trailer parks, and I don't remember all the details. I should do a video about it now that Bill Pulte is going to be the DNI. It's all in that tweet thread, or maybe it was an article that I wrote. I did so much research on it. It's amazing how easy it is to forget about this stuff. I mean, I think the people who want you to forget, they know that. Another interesting thing about this new software, so let's see, we got a helicopter there. Let's see if we can see it. Isn't that cool? Now we can just zoom right on in on things. So this is a high security event. Used to not be able to do that, so that's a great new capability of this software. Oh, that's not even the full tilt on the zoom. Whoops, lost the helicopter. I guess it went behind a building there. Isn't that something else? Science! Technological advancement. That's a great thing. Anyway, yeah, maybe I'll do a video about Tom Tillis and his real estate empire. There was more research that I had, but Data Republican just, never said anything about anything I was talking about. It's interesting. There are certain people who show up and they make comments on topics that seem to be exactly the types of things that myself and Charles Ortel are talking about, or other guests. And I message them, I send them stuff, try to be helpful. They ignore it. And people say, oh, you're not so important, Jason. I don't care about them paying attention to me. I find it curious that they ignore the information. I find it suspicious, in fact. But then, when I came out with this stuff about Tom Tillis, she said, oh, there's nothing to this. It's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And then we found out that there was a street that her mother and father used to live on that was named after her father. So there's a whole big history going on there that's got to be looked into. I should also mention, if you haven't seen it yet, Ken Silva was just on, I think it was just released an hour or two ago. Tucker Carlson, great for Ken. That's good exposure for him. Should be good exposure for his book as well. Maybe lots of people will buy the book about the Trump assassination attempts and what the reports missed, what the FBI missed. I forget the exact title, but we're going to talk to Ken about that some more. Good on him getting on Tucker Carlson. I don't particularly care for Tucker Carlson, but obviously he's got a big show, and a lot of people will see Ken and hear about his book, so that should be quite helpful to him. Well, the good news is this is still live. I mean, again, this is as much of a test of this thing's ability to stay on the network as it is anything else. As I say that, as it maybe is no longer on the network. Is it still live? No audio, broken every second. Not good. Now buffering badly. Yeah, okay. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, it's back. Yeah, maybe I'm in a bad spot. We don't know. There's lots to learn about this. Different settings. Scrap it, mate, somebody says. All right, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. I mean, it's the other thing that's being tested. Well, we'll keep testing it. If it's not good, then that's something to learn as well. Gonna keep it running. It's good feedback. Milking the mic in CB radio days. What is this person saying? A lot of interesting comments from people. Yeah, see, that's the other thing, is that when people know I'm live, they like to make comments because I can't really see what's being said. I don't know, this seems to think it's got full network. Let's see. Oh yeah, that is terrible. Definitely a problem. Well, you might not want to watch, folks. That's okay. I guess I should have limited this test maybe to fewer YouTube channels. That would have been smart.
How's it going there, Chris?
keep the test going. See if it improves as I get over closer to the park. Fat guy in his car honking like crazy. Yeah, there is no audio. Yeah, that's a problem. All right, again, all of this is going to be useful feedback as far as figuring out how to configure this thing. It's got a lot more settings than the other one, which is why I was hopeful it would work better, but I got to figure it out on a less public broadcast, I think. Maybe limited to just one channel and get all the bugs worked out before I start going wide with it. But it's just good to try it around in the real world, walk around, see what it does based on the network environment. Wow, look at that giant dog. No sound. Well, we'll do a loop and we'll see if it comes back. Sorry if this is annoying to people. Got other things to test here as well. I won't talk too much since there's no sound. That's interesting. It is full screen on other Crowdsource the Truth YouTube channels, but also no sound.
What was really cool.
It's very strange. So there's a lot of settings in here that I've got to figure out, but there's hopefully going to be some new capabilities. Look, anytime you transition to a new technology, there's always a rough patch, and that other thing just wasn't working anymore, couldn't go live, and I figured, you know, if something crazy happens, I mean, I guess this isn't a good way to capture it either if it's not working properly, but so that's interesting. Some people have to zoom in. I got to figure out what's going on with this thing. We'll just check out Bryant Park and then I'll head back. Sorry if this is annoying everybody. I guess at this point, if the technology isn't working, maybe just tune out and we'll come back another day for another clearer broadcast. But this is a test of the non-emergency broadcasting system. Yeah. You know, it's a rough deal trying to live stream walking around in a sea of radio waves and with constantly changing software. We'll see if the local recording works out. I can post that later. So from that standpoint, it is worth continuing to discuss. Trump's going to be there at the game. People were telling me, oh, you know, Mandami is going to be up in the crappy seats. Trump is sitting courtside. I don't know, where did this idea come from that Mamdani is somehow on parallel with Trump? Mamdani is a loser. and he's destroying this city. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's raising taxes when he should be cracking down on nonprofit corruption. That's another thing Charles and I were looking at last night, was the nonprofit venture capital firm InQtel. That's just totally a crazy thing. That, in addition to being run by the CIA, it's just, why is it a nonprofit? How is that allowed? Why is that allowed? And they're obviously making money. Somebody is profiting from that. So why are taxpayers funding it? And then, Elon Musk and Y Combinator and OpenAI essentially tried to do the same exact thing. None of it is any good. So I guess, the whole Mamdani and AOC movement, where they're trying to say like, there are no billionaires, they're all made. They're really not articulating clearly what the problem is. I mean, there are billionaires, but the idea is if they're going to steal public funds by using nonprofits to finance their thing, you can't do that. Everybody should get that money if you're going to be tax exempt. So we're coming up to Bryant Park. We'll see what's going on with the watch party. So people are saying they had to double click to zoom in, but here it appears to be full screen on Crowdsource the Truth 12. So that's the thing. I kind of did need to do this on all the different channels and in a walk around the city as I typically would go to just figure out exactly what it's going to do as you walk around on a typical walk and talk, but it isn't working that well. The first outing. Yeah, so Ken was on Tucker Carlson. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but he's on there talking about the Trump assassination. Great opportunity for him. I mean, I wonder if we'll find out anything about that. Speaking of nonprofits, we've got Tom Fitton and Judicial Watch chasing the FBI for documents. He's another guy making millions and millions and millions of dollars from nonprofits. It's a shady deal. I'm pretty sure this is another spot that you need to have tickets for to get into. They said to sign up starting at noon. So I don't think they're going to let you in here to this watch party unless you've got those tickets.
My big ass booty.
You got a booze party going in there. Hell of a lot of booze. Yeah, closed down unless you've got a ticket. I hope the Knicks are paying the city when something like this happens, because again, it's what funds this park? It's taxpayer money, isn't it? The game doesn't start until 8, so I guess they're still getting everything all set up.
They've locked your people out.
And that's like the movies in Bryant Park screen over there. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Whoop. Yeah. Not bad. We can enjoy the screen on Bryant Park and the future of garbage. Yeah, so Eric Adams now, citizen of Albania. I wonder if he's going to go live on an island with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. That's a bizarre development, I would say. Now, I do believe they're not going to allow me back down 7th Avenue. We'll see how that works. I think if I go below 30th Street, it should be okay. Stay on 6th until we get below 30th. But look, even here they've got fences. The whole city shuts down for basketball. All right. That's the way it's going to be. So there'll be a big watch party going on in there. That's the thing. I don't know why they were upset about that. There's an out-of-shape cop on his cell phone standing around collecting overtime. should be paid by the Knicks. I mean, that's the thing. How many ultra millions of dollars does it cost the city? And then the Knicks make money from it. They don't have to pay anything. Does that really bring an equal amount of money into the city? I think it's probably a net loss. Look at that. That's like a gun car. See that little turret hole out the back? Oh yeah, wait, this is Bank of China, so those look like some Chinese dudes hanging out there. All kinds of crazy stuff going on in New York City. Oh yeah, we're pretty near the Walcott Hotel. I was back by there the other day just to check out what's going on. And there are still people inside there who, the door was open and there was this sketchy looking dude.
Here we go, right away on the good, you can send it right back. Ready?
So they're making a movie or something over there.
So a lot of that stuff.
Hear them shouting action. What is it, this? It's cut. You need another take on that. But yeah, there was a sketchy looking guy hanging out outside. And then the door was open, you know, it wasn't like closed down like they're doing some sort of rehabilitation or construction or anything like that. And I walked in and I said, hey, can I rent a room in this hotel? And they said, no, it's private. And I just found that so weird because it didn't look like they had converted it into like a private condominium or apartment building or something like that. They had security people in the lobby. I didn't get a chance to see what their name badges said, and I wasn't rolling video inside there because I suspected something was going on, and if I did that, they would just throw me right out. But they said it's private, and the thing that's strange is the website is still up. The website for Walcott Hotel kind of is pretending that it's still a hotel. It has all the stuff there for, you know, reserving a room, which, why would you do that? It costs money to have a website running, you know, hosted somewhere. I mean, I guess maybe they just forgot about it, but it almost seems like they're trying to fool people into thinking that it's still a hotel. And something very sketchy seems to be going on there. I suspect the hotel is being paid off by some non-profit to house homeless people. And listen, this suspicion is informed by the history of what's gone on there. There was that company Exodus that during the pandemic was putting Rikers Island prisoners in there. I don't understand why. How do you put prisoners into a hotel and pay for it? But I guess the hotel doesn't mind because all the rooms are rented for some fixed period of time, and maybe if that was a crappy hotel not doing well in terms of competing with other hotels in New York City, perhaps that was a good alternative. But it seems like something like that is still going on, and the city gives that nonprofit, remember they had something like an $800,000 no-bid contract that ballooned to $55 million. That's quite a ballooning. But I guess if you're getting $55 million, you don't mind having your hotel filled up with homeless people. And then maybe you're sending some of that $55 million to Albania, where Eric Adams can get a slice, a taste of it, so to speak. Don't know. Seems like something like that is going on. But I'll continue to try to figure it out. The Walcott Hotel is over there. I don't think it's worth going there right now while this software is not necessarily working properly. We'll have to check it out in the future. Yeah, that's not so good. Not ideal, but there will be something to be learned from that, no doubt. park is closed.
All the files.
Instagram shoot happening right there. I guess if they're getting ready for the Knicks to win and then people to go crazy tearing stuff apart. This is a real jam over here already. And this is just 6th Avenue.